Marshall and Hannah Reyes lived in a beautiful suburban home in the small town of Cynthiana in Kentucky. They had been married for nearly 25 long years. Hannah worked at the local library, and Marshall had a small business, though now was hoping to retire. People in this small town knew each other, and a lot of people knew the Reyes. And that was because when they got married, the word sort of spread like hot gossip. Because Marshall Reyes was almost 30 when he married Hannah at the young age of 18. And even after all these years, it seemed that people still had that impression embedded into their minds. It was just the other day that Marshall got talking with his neighbor. "Morgan, how are you?" "Doing well, Reyes. I've been meaning to speak with you. Have you seen the news?" "Why, has something happened?" "The police are trying to investigate these strange cases in town. There's a serial killer out on the loose." "Well, that's disturbing. How many victims have they found? Did any other information come out?" "They found 7 women so far, and they all had similar appearances. They wore glasses, they were young, smart women, and they were all academically inclined one way or the other. This is why I wanted to talk to you. It seems that your wife fits the description." Marshall let out a faint chuckle. "Morgan, it's been 25 years, man. Hannah is too old. The serial killer isn't going to target her. He targets young women. All I'm saying is to be careful, Reyes." It was true. Marshall and Hannah were now growing old together. It was recently that they decided to rent out a room in the house, as Marshall wasn't able to work like before and their income had become limited. It wasn't long after that a young man named Wade Collins came to check out the offer. By first impressions, he seemed decent. He was 24 years old, rather tall, slim, and quite handsome. "This is the room. You'll have to pay 2 months in advance. The rent is due within the first week. You can eat here with us or you can order your own food. The bathroom is a walk down the hall, and there is a strict curfew of no later than 8 p.m. "All right, I'll take the room." Wade was like a paying guest to the couple, and he was in no way bothersome to them. He never made much noise, he didn't bring anyone over, and he always gave the rent on time. Over the days, Hannah had become fond of him. When she got home after work, she actually waited for Wade to return. Hannah liked spending time with him. "Are you new here to Cynthiana?" "Yes, Mrs. Reyes. I moved here from Lexington." "Oh, so you're a city guy. Call me Hannah. Have you made any friends here? This town is pretty small." "No, not really." "I can be a friend." "You look like something's bothering you. I'm here to listen." "There's just a lot going on in my life right now." On the other hand, Marshall wasn't too happy about what he was seeing. It didn't just happen once, but quite a few times that he came home to find Hannah and Wade gossiping together at the table. Sometimes he would overhear them laughing. He started to become insecure. Was Hannah attracted to this guy, or was this guy trying to woo Hannah? "What were you talking about with him?" "Oh, it's nothing. He's quite intelligent. We got talking about this and that." "What is this and that? What was so funny you couldn't stop laughing?" "Why, Marshall? Are you getting jealous?" "Why would I be jealous after 25 years? I just find the guy suspicious. He's not right." Sure, he's not right. I see someone burning up inside." Hannah teased Marshall, seeing how possessive he had become about her. But it only made Marshall more insecure than he already was. Maybe it was a good thing. They needed something to spark up their marriage. "You're early today? Sit down, have some coffee with me." "That's all right. I don't want to drink coffee." "What book is that you're reading?" "Oh, this? It's a romance novel by Hubert Stein, The Red Rose. A friend of mine gave it to me once. Never got to read it until now. It's pretty good." "Hubert Stein. I love his books. Looks like we have a lot in common, don't we?" "I guess." "You actually remind me of the hero." Wade wasn't really a talkative guy. He rarely shared anything about himself. And soon enough, Hannah herself started to become suspicious of him. Marshall was right. There was something about him. Wade barely ate anything at any time of the day, only a few bites for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was the bare minimum someone needed to survive. As a matter of fact, over the weeks since he moved in, Wade had actually lost significant weight. Have you seen his condition? Is he taking some crazy stuff locked up in that room? Don't talk to him, Hannah. He's going through something. You're just giving excuses so I don't speak to him. Hannah, you don't know what he's hiding. You heard the news, didn't you? Are you talking about the serial killings? Yes, Hannah, I've been telling you this guy isn't right. As the days went by, Marshall and Hannah kept an eye on Wade. Last week, he had informed them that he wasn't going to return for the night. Hannah and Marshall didn't think anything of it. Until the next morning, they saw Wade return home looking exhausted. It looked like he hadn't slept all night. His eyes were red and baggy as he dragged himself into the room and didn't come out till evening. What made everything terrifying was the fact that just that morning the police had discovered a body of a woman, one of the victims of these strange serial killings. Was it a coincidence, or was he truly involved in what was going on? Hannah and Marshall couldn't hold in their curiosity. They were also fearful of who they were allowing to live in their home. On the right opportunity, they decided to search his room. The young man didn't bring along many things when he came. He had a few pairs of clothes, a bag, some books and papers scattered on the table. Hannah searched under the bed, the pillows, the mattress. She looked in the closet, but she didn't find anything unusual. Until she caught sight of a picture tucked into one of the books on the table. The picture seemed familiar. Hannah opened up the book to find a map. There were pinpoints all over Cynthiana labeled with names of the victims that had been discovered by the police. But what made things worse was that he had the picture of the woman that was the last of all victims Hannah had seen on the news that was still missing. We have to call the police and hand him in immediately, Hannah. But there's no ifs or buts. You know what he's up to. It's not safe anymore. It was never safe. I've been telling you from the start. Hannah and Marshall called the police and reported everything they found and knew about Wade Collins. After looking into the details, the police ruled him as a prime suspect, if not the one, and arrested him. What? Why are you arresting me? I haven't done anything. I'm not responsible for this. It's not me. Thank you for reporting him to us. Without your help, we wouldn't have been able to track him down. But he denies it. How will you know that he's the one? Well, one thing's for sure. If he is the one, the murders will stop. Did you solve the problems? I'm doing it. I have been doing it. I solved so many of them for you. Please, just let me have some food. Give me some water. No, if you don't finish your work, no food, no water. Why are you doing this to me? Because girls like you deserve it. Girls like you are ruining the society. When Hannah married Marshall 25 years ago, she thought life would be bliss. She wouldn't need to worry about money for the rest of her life. But that's not how things turned out, and she was disappointed. However, when the couple had a son, Kevin, this child had become a solace for her, and the apple of Marshall's eye. They raised Kevin with so much love and affection that they ended up spoiling him. Kevin grew up to be handsome, tall, and well-built, and in other words, a typical stud. At the age of 17, he was smart and confident, but things suddenly changed in his senior year of high school. Kevin suddenly became depressed, and every passing day seemed to be getting worse than before. And it all happened after Kevin won first prize at a national robotics competition. Kevin was shaking hands with everyone that had come with him, when suddenly a woman walked out of the crowd and began yelling at him. "You think you're smart? All of this was a fluke." Excuse me? Kevin realized this woman was the mother of one of the girls on the opposition team, the girl that didn't win against him. "You're nothing but a mama's boy. You won this silly competition, but you'll never survive in the real world. Wake up and smell the coffee. Good looks isn't gonna take you anywhere." "Miss, why are you behaving like this? I won the competition fair and square. What are you talking about?" "Yeah, you won, building this flimsy tin can. But what do you know about the real world? Nothing. I've seen hundreds like you. You won't be able to answer anything my third grader knows." This proves nothing. Having knowledge about something doesn't mean you're intelligent, it's how you apply it. The way you're behaving is highly unprofessional and rude. That's all you know how to do, personal attacks. The truth can be hard to digest, but the sooner you accept it, the better. Winning this doesn't make you smart. The reality is you're a loser. Kevin was stuck in the middle of an onlooking crowd. He didn't know what to say. "Leave it. There is no point of talking to you." "If you're so smart, why don't you counter me? Now you're running away? Take my advice. You'll save yourself the humiliation next time." Kevin froze on the spot. He really didn't have an answer for this woman. You couldn't be a monkey with a monkey. But the humiliation Kevin faced started to get the better of him. Over the days, he broke down mentally. He became depressed, unable to bear the rage he felt for not shutting that woman's mouth that day. Eventually, Kevin started to lose his mind. He started to become aggressive. He began doing crazy things like breaking his laptop and burning up his books. And soon enough, it got to the point when Kevin wasn't at his right mind anymore. He was a danger to others and himself. And Mr. and Mrs. Reyes had no other choice but to send their son to a mental asylum. They were heartbroken seeing him in that condition. And when they found out how it all began, how their son was insulted in front of everyone, they couldn't take it. These kind of women, I keep telling you again and again, Hannah, but you never agreed with me. Now see it for yourself. What happened to your son? No, I won't let this happen again. Ow, my back. Excuse me, young lady. You wouldn't mind helping me out, would you? Sure, no problem. Where do you want me to put it? Right in the back of the car, that's it. Thank you so much, sweetheart. What are you doing? Let me go! Let me out of here! Hannah and Marshall believed these uptight women were the reason to why innocent young men were suffering. These women thought they were too good. They looked down upon men and made them feel worthless. And Marshall and Hannah wouldn't allow that to happen again. They were doing a service to the society by cleansing it. For their son, for all young men. They brought the girls to their home unconscious and trapped them in their basement. Hannah herself was academically inclined. She was a smart woman. She gave the girls the most difficult problems to solve, and when they weren't able to answer them, she would let them starve, just like her son suffered when he refused to eat. And while they were doing all this, people had no clue what was really going on. To them, these women first went missing and were later found dead from starvation. It wasn't until Wade Collins reached the Reyes' home in search of his girlfriend that went missing. The last victim of Marshall and Hannah, Samantha Myers. The couple had been suspicious of him, seeing his unusual appetite. It seemed that the only reason he refused to eat was because he feared his girlfriend was suffering hunger as well. He wasn't a bad guy, but if he was smart enough to reach here, Hannah and Marshall had to get rid of him. We discovered the remains of your last victim months after her death, but Samantha Myers is still missing. Where are you hiding her? Where is she? I don't know. I didn't do this. We have to keep her alive, or the police will let him go. I know what to do with her. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.